Okay. H-I-T-A-R-A.
Oh, Dava.
Hi, Danny.
And Tara and Todd.
Exclamation point. Hi, Tara and Todd.
Todd.
Hi, Danny. Hi, all.
I'll.
So, what did you want to make this video about? I-W-A-N-T-T-O-C-H-A-T A-B-O-U-T H-O-W-Y-O-U-F-E-L-T A-B-O-U. I want to chat about how you felt
About
my I don't know, after M-Y C-O-M-M-U-N-I-C-A-T-I-O-N about my communication W-H-E-N-Y-O-U-H-E-A-R-D A-B-O-U-T-I-T exclamation point when you heard about it.
Todd.
Do you want me to give some background?
Yes.
Y-E-S
This. Oh.
O-K-A-Y exclamation point.
Todd.
Well, sure. So, our mom and our younger sister, Era, went to Portland with Danny.
With Danny.
Elizabeth Vossler. And I didn't really understand what rapid prompting method or spelling to communicate were all about. I was pretty jaded about years and years of my mom trying to find treatments or anything to help Danny, and then it just not working out, or even worse, just being kind of little more than a scam. And so I kind of just, to protect myself, I didn't even pay much attention to this. I was like, oh, it's just another one of these things, it's not going to help. And so I was in San Diego, and I get this call. I was walking home from dinner in my neighborhood with a good friend of ours, and it's my mom and Era, and they're like, you'll never believe what Danny just said today. And it was the day after you said, or the evening of the day when you typed your mission statement, what your legacy is going to be, which was a previous post. And it just felt like a dam burst open. Like I just started sobbing there on the sidewalk, and my friend was very confused. He was like, you seem happy, but there's lots of tears. And he was so excited to hear what I was telling him. And I'm really glad our sister went, because she's sometimes can be a bit skeptical. And so the fact that she was like, no, Tara, no one was coaching him, no one was touching him or influencing him. Like I know this was Danny's words. And yeah, I just like thunderstruck. And I also was just like, oh my God, I've been talking to you like you're a toddler, when you're clearly understanding everything that's going on. And so yeah, that was the initial reaction.
Well, I love it.
No, I love it.
Exhibition awesome. Exhibition.
I can still feel it in my body when I think back to it. And we all know that my cry trigger is pretty that's a pretty low threshold. H-A-H, haha. I-W-O-N-D-E-R-H-O-W-I-T-F-E-L-T.
How it felt?
I wonder how it felt.
What how you felt?
T-T-O-G-R-O-W-F-L-U-E-N-T-W-I-T-H-M-E. Exclamation. I wonder how it felt to grow fluent with me.
Done.
It felt amazing, Danny. It felt so amazing. I get asked this question a lot. Like, I didn't go through any formal training because I lived abroad, and even when I was in San Diego years ago, I was extensively traveling, and so I didn't really understand the kind of method behind the process. So I was kind of just stumbling through, not fully understanding like the purpose of certain steps, which is very uncharacteristic of me. And looking back, I was like, oh, if I had taken the time to ask someone to explain the foundation of spelling to communicate to me, it would have been a lot easier. But when we were first practicing, even during like scattered times when I'd be visiting home, we'd get to some pretty good like semi-open answers, and it felt great, but I was never sure. I was like, is this something I can do? I think that's a big stumbling block for a lot of people, is like, well, I don't know if this is something I can do. But when we really focused on it, when I moved back here, and when it was the early pandemic in 2020, we just progressed so quickly, and it was just amazing. Like the first open answer you gave me, we were reading about COVID, the first really open answer, and about healthcare workers, and I asked you, this is a difficult time for healthcare workers. Like, do we know any in our personal lives? And you spelled Andrea, the name of one of our good friends who's a nurse. And I said, oh, okay, do you have anything to say to Andrea? And you said, take care, or be safe. I think that was it, be safe. Let's have sushi dinner. And she's a frequent guest at our special celebratory sushi dinners. And I was just over the moon. I was so excited. I couldn't wait to tell anyone. And then from there, the weeks and months, and now years from there, I mean, but especially those initial days and weeks, just getting to know you, getting to know how much of you there was to know. Oh my gosh, it was astounding. ILOVETHATTOO! Exclamation point. I love that too.
Awesome. Done. So still. Still cherishing the just the memories
after S.
Means from those early days.
Exclamation point. You're still cherishing the memories from those early days. Yeah, me too. It was such a special time. I mean, it was an intense time being at the height of the pandemic with so much uncertainty, but there was just something very, I don't know, cozy and nice and rich and just vibrant about that time, where we had nothing to do but get to know how to communicate better, and for me to get to know you, and for the whole family to get to know you better. It was such a beautiful time. Okay, A-Y. A-N-D-I-R-E-A-L-L-Y F-E-L-T-T-H-I-S-W-A-S. And I really felt this was my TRUEDAWNINGCOMMUNICATI. This was my true dawning into communication! Exclamation point.
Dot.
Yeah, I'm sorry it took so long to get you to a point where you had communication regularly in your daily life. From first learning to spell to communicate with Elizabeth Vossler in late 2015, to having regular sessions with Dawn Marie here starting in late 2018, and then from there, a year and a half-ish until I was with you regularly. And it's something I always regret. It was always in the back of my mind that no one's picking this up with you. And all I can say is part of it was just hard, not knowing a local practitioner who clicked with you, and not knowing other families to see that kind of that journey, and like how it might be slow, and you might not really notice progress at first, but to still keep going and to have hope, and all of that on top of having my own professional path that I'd invested in, that I was really kind of at the early launching stages of, and knowing that I really wanted to work abroad, and then our mom needing to work, and just things, logistics not falling into place. But I'll always regret that I didn't make your communication more of a priority earlier, and I'm really glad that I was in the position to do that, starting late 2019. IUNDERST. I understand. And ITIS.
And it is
AREGR. It is a regret, but I am so LOOKINGFORWAR. But I'm so looking forward!
Okay.
Exclamation point.
Dot.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm cognizant of the mistakes and regret, but I use those to motivate what we do together in the future. And it's still not necessarily easy. There's still a lot of things that I'm juggling, and I hope that I'm still able to make your communication and your growth a priority. But just for other support folks out there, it does take a lot of effort. It's not easy. You're not alone if you think it's hard.
Yes.
But it's so worthwhile. TOTALLY.
Totally.
But it is so appreciated!
Okay, so appreciate.
Exclamation point.
Dot.
Thanks. But yeah, when the going gets tough, often I think back to how I felt when I first heard of the words you spelled, the words that showed me there's so much more going on in your mind than I ever suspected, more than I even hoped. And then when we started being fluent together, and each kind of revelation of how much you could do and how much hope there was for your future, and how much of a positive presence you were in the world, that is really an amazing thing to be a part of.
Yes. That is
SHUCKS.
Socks.
Shucks. Okay.
Oh.
OKAY.
Eh.
Exclamation point.
Dot.
SOTHATISIT.
That is for now.
So that is it for now! Exclamation point.
Dot.
All right. Well, thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate you asking these questions. What do you want to say? THANKYOU. TOO.
Yes.
Thank you too.
Thank you too. Dot.
THANKYOUFORWATCHING! Excellent. Thank you for watching.
Dot. Awesome. Dot.
And just so you know, Danny does spring these videos on me, so if I wasn't particularly well spoken, just know that this is me on very, very little notice. But it's how we really chat.
Yes.
TOTALLY.
Totally.
Totally! Exclamation point.
Dot.
Done and done. SEEYAFRIENDS! Exclamation. See ya, friends.
Yeah, friends.
Bye.
Bye. Dot. Bye.